Thank you guys for tuning into the channel today. Got a couple of Tekno EB48 2.2s, brand new, freshly built. I got my good friend Shannon here. We're going to be hitting up the backyard RC track today and hopefully turning some laps. Sorry it's been a while since I did a longer video. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I think I've had this thing built for about a week or so. How long have you had yours built?
A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. Hadn't even had an opportunity to turn them. Had some pretty devastating stuff from Hurricane Helene here in North Carolina. So keep our area in your thoughts and prayers. And for those that, certainly lost a lot of stuff, I think I was very blessed during the storm. Only had a couple trees down and was maybe without power for a week. Your area all right?
Yeah, a lot of devastation. I was good. We lost, we kept power the whole time, cell service and internet. Other than that, we're good. But, just to see the devastation in our area, it's pretty overwhelming.
And kind of like Shannon was saying, it's kind of good. Things are kind of getting back to normal. We wanted to kind of get out, maybe take some mental health, run some RCs, and have some fellowship, and just enjoy some track time, hopefully. And we'll get these on the backyard RC track today. I don't know. Tell us about your rig. You've done a couple of things to it.
Yeah, well, it's like he said, EB48 2.2, the newest version. Ran the 2.1. I'm relatively new with this. Was really pleased with the 2.1, but of course, with
want to try the new kit
out.
Yeah,
with time, and I want the newest.
Oh, yeah.
Try to keep up, and even though it's an RC, they every little thing counts. Especially in the competitive level. We're not pros by any means,
no.
But
certainly not.
I don't know that anybody could enjoy it any more than we do.
That's right, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. A few things.
Yeah, what are you running yours electronics? ESC motor?
Hobby Wing. Got the, I'll put my glasses on here. Got the Hobby Wing 2200. 8 scale, obviously. Then I run the X-Run XR8 Pro G3 ESC. And then
Shift servo.
Shift servo, that's one of those things. I come from the RC rock bouncers previously, and, kind of went with stuff that I knew a little bit about, and I can tell you, you're not going to go wrong with Shift RC servo. Great company, family owned, great guy. Anyway, really never really stuck basically stock. The only thing that I went aftermarket, I did go with the JT Bearings titanium turnbuckles. The 2.1s, notorious for bending the turnbuckles, and what have you. I think they have upgraded, but, to me, that's a small price to not have to worry about your turnbuckles.
Yeah, my 2.1 stock came with the bigger size turnbuckles.
Right. And Tekno's real good about listening to customers and, addressing issues, if it's an issue. Obviously, you can break or bend anything. So, you hear enough, get enough people in your ear, you're going to make things right, and they did. I'm all about presentation. I've always, my whole life, I've been into some kind of racing, from go-karts to cars to four-wheelers, and now the RC cars as I've gotten older.
It hurts less.
Yeah,
it hurts a lot less.
It's still hard on your pocketbook sometimes, but, physically it's painless. But, I like to say presentation to me is a lot of things, or means a lot. I polish my shock towers, my wheels. You'll see I put stickers on my wheels. Just something different, make them look flashy at least for the first 5 minutes.
What tires you running on this?
I like these are the AKA Impacts. I'm not sold on any brand. I watch fellow competitors and. Whatever's working, and what works today may not work tomorrow, and So I've got piles of tires, but I wanted to give these a try. AKA All the Way Around has been a good tire for me. Short course, the buggies, what have you. Like I say, I'm not going to say any brand at this point for me. It's any given day. The track conditions, what have you, driving styles. But like I say, basically this thing is stock. Another thing, I did go, the kit comes with 21-degree spindles, and these are the 15-degree spindles.
These right here. Yeah, this is stock. It was 21s
and
on the 2.2. The 2.1 had the 18s.
Right, and they've, I don't know all about setups and all that, still learning. But, everything I've read, the type of tracks that I run are generally smaller tracks with tighter turns, and my understanding, the 15-degree spindles takes away that push that you would have on like the 21-degree or 18-degree even. Like I say, I don't really know yet. Not even, I've plugged it up, obviously, set my ESC up and what have you, but this thing has not been on the ground.
Right.
And hopefully here in just a few minutes we'll
change that.
We'll change that. Get a little time in, have, like he said, out here with some friends, kind of, breathe a little fresh air,
Yeah.
and be around some friends, a little different scenery, what have you. Just with everything that's been going on in the area last couple of weeks.
Yeah. That's one thing about the RC community. I met Shannon probably at our local track.
Yep, a couple years ago.
We've been good friends ever since, and been to, quite a few big races here and there. So, for my 2.2, hope you like the paint job. I like the orange and white.
Yeah, thank you. And it's simple, and that's another thing. I enjoy piddling with the paint, and I'm not a pro by any means, but I have bought bodies that I've had custom painted, and these guys do a great job, and it's an art, and I'm not an artist, and the type of quality you get from a professional painter, they're not cheap, but then again, I don't see how they're making much money at it.
I don't either, because it's very time consuming.
It's more of a hobby doing the painting as well as.
They must enjoy it.
Yeah, they have to.
But anyway, my 2.2 build, I've just been running Castle stuff, and I know a lot of the guys, he's a lot faster than me, but is running the Hobby Wing setup, but these Castle systems have never really let me down, so I don't think I've ever burned up anything Castle, which is kind of odd, and I run a lot. But 2200 kV motor, I think it recommended a 16 tooth pinion.
Right.
I think I have a 17 because my 16 was still on the 2.1, because I think that was the stock pinion for that. Just the Mamba X ESC. And I want to try out this Eco Power. It was a brushless servo. I got it from A-Main Hobbies. It's maybe like 120 bucks, but it's waterproof, metal gear, aluminum case, brushless. I felt like for that price it was a good deal, so I always wanted to try that out. So we'll try that out today. Wheels and tires, just got some dialed RC. These are the V7s. I've been running the V8s most of the time on the 2.1 at our local track. A lot of guys have been running these dialed RC wheels and tires, and they've been very happy.
And I've ran. As far as dialed RC, I'm pretty partial to the V8s.
You like the V8s better than
I've had
7s?
some good success on our local track with the V8s. I have tried the V7s. I don't know that the conditions on that particular day.
You just never know.
And there again, it's like tires. It's
the biggest thing in RC.
It is.
Having an assortment of tires, because even the moisture in the track could change, and then you're going to need a totally different set of tires. And there's not one set of tires that's like that magic.
No.
You can kind of get some all-around tires, but tires is the biggest thing that'll put you on the podium or not, I would say.
Right. And then you think of something simple as an RC car, a tire. if you're off hundredths of a second, you take over a 10-minute run,
and Twino,
you're behind, way behind.
Yeah.
And competition is that tight. You know, we look at our overall median time a lot of times, and it's like literally a second off the fast time. And that you run 10 minutes and that consistent, you know, it takes good tires.
Because even running, I just got bumped up to pro in our local class, but even running a second behind y'all, well, you make 20 laps, guess what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm 20 seconds down.
Yeah.
And it's a 20-second, you're all the whole lap down.
I mean, that's
you
one
get
lap.
A second off.
And,
yeah. So,
you know, and that part of it is kind of frustrating sometimes because you're like, where in the world am I going to make this time up? But,
yeah,
you throw the right tire on there, and I mean, you're right back in the game. You know, it's.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully, I'm looking forward to running with you pro guys. At least at our local track.
Right.
I know we're not pro.
Yeah, we're not pro by no means. You know,
but our local track, they run pro. So.
And that's a good thing too about the RC hobby. These tracks, you know, they try to. Obviously, if we run that track week in and week out, you know, 2 or 3 times a month, we're going to be faster than the people that just show up. I mean, we know every bump on the track, and you know, it kind of throws us into another category because what fun is it just to go and beat up on somebody? You know, it's
right.
You know, and that, to me, that competition is you want close competition. You don't want to just run away with it. Yeah,
right.
we're there to win, but winning when you lap the field 2 or 3 times, to me, well, okay, what?
Yeah, you need
that takes the fun out of it for me.
Yeah, it's got to be competitive.
Yeah, and then on the other side of that, you get lapped 2 or 3 times.
That ain't no fun.
It ain't no fun.
But these V7s have like a lot of this side bite here. I know you guys probably can't see on the camera, but I know Travis, one of the other guys, he actually turned these around and liked them better and ran faster that day. So
right.
It's an odd thing. The only other thing is I have this Tekno high downforce wing. I wanted to try that out. I gave Shannon one of those. He seemed to prefer the high downforce wing on the 2.1.
Yeah, I did.
So
actually, I had done a lot of tuning on the 2.1, and at some point I broke a rear wing and really didn't think much about it. But it's like after that, I never could catch back up. And I went back to the stock wing, and I honestly, after talking today, I feel like that little bit is the difference. And you know, I've got the stock one on the 2.2. So I just got one from him. So may swap that out today just to see. You know, we're just out here having fun, no pressure, no nothing. Yeah. So may just swap them to be swapping just to see if there's a difference.
And we do have, hopefully, get our timing system set up. So we'll kind of maybe make some tweaks and adjustments throughout the day, see what's working for us.
Right.
It's kind of a whole new track. The Hurricane didn't do too much damage, but definitely a lot of work to get it back to where it is today. And I kind of feel like even the track surface has changed a lot from what we were running before the Hurricane. So.
And, you know, I will say this, we don't have one in here. Another big thing that I've found is your remote.
Yeah.
That is a game changer with these things.
Yeah.
Being able to tweak, you know, your power to the ground, whatever, you know.
Throttle curve is a big one.
It's huge.
Throttle curve.
You know, obviously gearing does matter, but you can kind of compensate with your radio.
Yeah.
If you're a little too high or a little too low, whatever, you know, you can adjust your throttle curve and what have you, even throttle output at that point, you know, where a lot of times I keep mine turned down. It's and then as I progress throughout the day or whatever, I'll find myself, you know, okay, I can handle a little bit more power at this point.
Bump it up.
But I can tell you this too, power it and everything.
Exactly. You got to be able to put the power to the ground.
Yeah, power to the ground, and, you know, throttle, learning how to throttle, where to throttle on these jumps and curves and everything else makes a huge difference.
Yeah, last season I actually, in my 8-scale buggy, went down to like a 3S battery and was still very competitive at our local track.
Yep.
And I'm planning on probably running 4S. I've run 4S at on my backyard track, and I like it really well. But stay tuned. Hopefully get some running video up and added to this video here, but can't think of anything else on the 2.2. Hopefully do a more maybe in-depth look in a future video. I think while I'm thinking about the only other thing I did, I really like these Sumo plates. They fit the 2.1 and the 2.2. Just kind of saves your chassis a little bit. And from what I can tell, with I had those on the 2.1, never really affected my racing or time at all.
Right.
So I really like those. Definitely some changes to the 2.2. Maybe we'll do a more in-depth, look in the future, but quite a bit of changes, really.
One thing I've noticed immediately. Can you grab the 2.1?
Yeah.
You look, the 2.1 just setting
Slower.
The front end just levels right out as soon as you set it down. This is without batteries. The 2.2 is like, it rides high on the front end, but as soon as you put the battery in it, it balances that weight and it sets right down where it should be. That's one thing just I noticed immediately.
Right, yeah, like mine's sitting high too, and I think I actually maybe even adjusted the ride height a little bit because I thought it looked funny. But
yeah, and I did the same thing, but then you obviously want to set your car up with the weight that you're running. And once I put the battery in, I was like, oh well, there you go, because the 2.1.
Yeah, none of these have batteries in them right now, and you can kind of look at the.
So the weight transfer is, they've obviously done something there.
It looks like it. I don't know, stiffer springs in the front. I don't know, but you ready to go run these things?
I'm ready to give it a try.
All right, glad to be able to get this video out. Stay tuned. We'll put up some running video. Thanks you guys for watching. Well, we had some track time on the Tekno EB48 2.2s. George is still running the 2.1, but he's probably still faster than the both of us.
Yeah.
What were y'all's track times?
I think I had a 22.5
20.5.
or 20.52.
I had a 20.2 or 20.3, something like that.
And
So,
some of those were with the dry track out here. We kind of just decided to run a few laps there towards the end without wetting the track or anything. So I think it was a pretty fast lap considering track conditions.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it could definitely be faster if it had some moisture in the track, but
yeah. Any big differences from the 2.1? Anything you like, don't like? I know we tried out.
well,
You swapped out the rear wing there.
yeah, I wound up. I dropped a tooth on my pinion, which helped tremendously.
So what are you running now?
I'm running a 15 now. I started out
15,
with
15.
16. Let's see. I changed tires. It's kind of hard to say if tires really made a difference or not, because it's loose with the
With it dry.
dry. I put a high downforce wing on. I could definitely tell a difference with that. Overall, the 2.2, I have nowhere near the push that I had with the 2.1.
Cool.
That being said, I would be curious to see what the 15-degree spindles would do on the 2.1. You know, that could make a huge difference on the 2.1. But overall, I feel like the 2.2 is a little bit faster than my 2.1 was.
And yeah, that's weird because me and George had rode the 2.1. Like we didn't feel like we pushed at all.
Right.
So I don't
No,
know.
I just-
Might just be driving styles
Yeah.
too a little bit.
Yeah, I fought that thing, and you know, a couple of different things. It's like one race, I'd feel like I was, well, y'all know, it'd be super fast, but then the next race I was off. It's like
Yeah.
no changes, but and you know, your mood has a lot to do with it. I mean, you whether you realize you're in a different mood, you know.
What have you done to the 2.1, George?
it's mostly just stock. I changed a little on the roll center on the rear. I went down to a 4,000 weight in the rear diff, but the middle and front are still 7,000 like stock. I was running a 1900 kV for a season, but then this year I've switched to a 2050, and I think it gave me a little more top end, but I think it also smoothed out the getting on it out of turns as well. So it's plenty fast. But everything else, shock oil is still stock weight. And I'm still running the stock spindles in the front, but after what I've seen, I may try the 15 degrees out and see what they do, because most of the tracks we run are tight tracks.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to help with that. So I do get a little bit of push here and there, but a lot of it for me has to do with track conditions. Like when it's dry like this, there'd be a lot of, you're either going to push because your front tires aren't gripping at all, or you're going to be spinning out because you're breaking the rear end loose. It's hard to find that fine line there.
I think towards the end, I think we're all running V7s, Dialed RC V7s.
Yep.
And they got side bite on there, so that probably helped us out a little bit. But
Yeah, right now that's my favorite tire out there. All around, it's done really good. On it's like some blue groove stuff, they got some other tires like a V4. I've liked it a little better than these on some really hard stuff. But anything that's going to loam up like this, whether it's wet or dry, these I've been happy with these. I don't know what tire would have got us really much more than what we had today. It was so dry, and they did well earlier in the day after we watered it too. So I think this is a good all-around tire.
And I did feel like the 2.2 straight out of the box was way more planted than the 2.1. There was never any just bouncy kick up, you know, just like going up the back over there. Hit that double, man, that little rough stuff up through there, I was eating it up. You know, I could literally gain a lot on y'all right there.
Yeah.
You know, driving style too, but I felt like overall
it's forgiving.
Yep, it's a
Very
lot more
forgiving.
forgiving than the 2.1. And there again, that's my opinion.
Right. But I don't know. I feel like mine ran good. I ain't got no complaints. I need to come out here and get some like maybe lap times with the 2.1 and the 2.2, see what I run faster with. But
And that would be the true comparison, you know, instead of individuals doing it, you know, do it yourself, where you've got a 2.1 and a 2.2, run them back to back, and then you can tell.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't as consistent as y'all, but some of I think y'all's fast laps, I was hanging with you a little bit.
Right.
And I don't know, I never did put a transponder on the 2.2 yet. I just didn't take the time to hook it up. But. All right, there you guys have it. Tried out the EB48 2.2s, and if you guys can find a good deal on a 2.1, still a great buggy in the right hands, you know. Georgia's still plenty fast, so. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Overall, a great day racing this NB48 2.2 and just having some practice and fun with my friends and trying it out for the first time. I did want to add this part to the video, kind of after the discussion we had at the end of the video about racing back-to-back. We let George drive Shannon's 2.2 with the 15-degree spindles, and he put up the fastest lap of the day on like the third lap, never driving the buggy before at all. So that kind of answered that comparison question we were talking about, driving them back to back. So almost not quite a full second, but his fast lap on the third lap around the track with a 2.2 was, you know, like almost a second faster. So just wanted to add that to the end of the video. I think both of these buggies are phenomenal. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting some track time in with a 2.2 and hopefully dialing it in and hopefully get on some podiums this year. But thanks for watching.